Morning, everyone, and welcome to the Cup of Joe show. I don't know what this is, but I'm Joe, that's Jeremy. Happy Valentine's Day.
Or Singles Awareness Day.
Right? That's us. Here we are. And everything is awesome. We'll just say that.
Everything is cool when you're part of a team.
Everything is awesome. Dream. All right. Does anybody know that last part? Oh, because we just figured out we don't.
I would think Tegan and Sarah know.
That's true. Hopefully,
they sang it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right, we've got a lot to talk about this week, so we're gonna go right into it. I've seen two movies that he hasn't, and he has challenged me that I can't review both of them in 1 minute apiece. So here we go. Boyhood. Boyhood is a well-directed and well-acted film by two people, Patricia Arquette and Ethan Hawke. It's a very interesting film that it's filmed over 12 years with the same people as they grow up. Very interesting, however, very, very boring. I'm with it for about 45 minutes, and I thought I made it through a huge chunk. I'm like, oh, if it ends soon, and then I paused it, and there were 2 hours left, so I was like, oh crap, I'm done. The problem with it is very repetitive, and I don't think it deserves Best Picture, but I'll get to that. There were really good parts of it. Like I said, I think Patricia Arquette, Ethan Hawke were the best part, but ultimately I think it's a boring film. After the first 45 minutes, too repetitive, too boring. All right, moving on to A Most Violent Year. A Most Violent Year is a movie with my favorite actress, Jessica Chastain, who really steals the show actually in a few scenes, and ultimately it's kind of one of those. All right, if you've ever seen Breach, and you probably have never seen that movie, but it's kind of one of those movies where like the tension, like nothing really happens, but the tension is just there, and you're just like. And that's kind of what it is. And for a movie that's called A Most Violent Year, horrible marketing. It's not that violent. There's not too much like fighting, killing, anything like that. So that's just bad marketing, a bad title. Like I said, Jessica Chastain was fantastic, but I have to mention the fact that she at times had an accent and at times didn't, which didn't make sense to me. But maybe I'll watch it again and hear it differently. But at the same time, she did steal scenes. She was very strong in scenes, although I just feel like the direction was off because they didn't tell her like which way to go. I don't know. Because she's a great actress, so I don't understand why they just didn't direct her better. I think I went a little over with this one, but ultimately it's kind of one of those films where you're kind of on the edge of your seat, but there's nothing like really happening. It's like A Most Violent Year is the Cold War. It's very well acted, it's very well done, but like nothing really happens. Like I said, David Oyelowo, Oscar Isaacs.
Sure.
Oscar Isaac, he's in Sucker Punch, and why he started there, that's terrible, because...
He is in Sucker Punch.
Yeah, exactly, but he's actually a really good actor, and David Oyelowo is also in it, so great acting, but the direction's a little off, and it's not that violent. Okay, that was the best I could do, alright? That was like a minute and a half right there, so, that is like way better than I usually do. Now, we both saw this movie. It's kind of controversial, and it is The Interview. The Interview starring Seth Rogen and James Franco for another one of their comedies. I've been talking quickly and a lot. I'm going to take a drink of water, and I'm going to let you lead off the conversation about The Interview.
Okay, well, for the most part, I like both James Franco and Seth Rogen. I like their style of humor. A lot of the movies that they've done, like, The Pineapple Express, was very meta. Like, it joked about itself and joked about its jokes a lot, and I like that kind of thing. Drawing attention to the more ridiculous things and just being very self-aware. And, that kind of humor carried over in a lot of respects to The Interview. And I liked that sort of thing. In some ways, Seth Rogen and James Franco were kind of playing themselves, but, James Franco was, an exaggerated version of himself, and, the movie's not, side-splitting, just heavy laughter throughout, but it definitely has its moments. I can see why it's controversial with the subject matter and all, but I laughed. I thought there were definitely some clever parts. Some even unexpected things in the plot, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be as funny as it actually was, and let me just the opening scene with Eminem was like
Oh, yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I was dying.
That's a great way to open it. It pulls you right in.
Seriously. So I mean, like I think like how I would break it down is like part one was very funny. The middle was just like not funny, but like I feel like it had to happen in order for the third act to once again return to being funny. So I thought that like it was, it wasn't funny throughout, but like it had that beginning and end that were pretty funny. The thing is though, like yes, like we were kind of, they said some awful stuff toward North Korea, and like it was kind of like and I think it was more interesting watching this film knowing that there was a controversy around it. I honestly think that this movie wouldn't have. I don't know if I would have gotten as much enjoyment out of it if there was nothing around it, but it did have those moments where it was just like they said that stuff about North Korea, and you're just like, is my PlayStation gonna blow up? I don't know, but at the same time, like this is a dumb comedy, obviously, but at the same time, like we made fun of ourselves. And like I just feel like there actually was a balance in the fact that like we poked at North Korea, but like we also poked at ourselves. Like if you talk about the opening scene with Eminem, the fact that like we eat up like that news, like instead of like real news, we eat up entertainment news, and I thought it was funny when like that North Korean girl was just like, how many times is America gonna make the same mistakes? And James Franco says, as many times as it takes. And like it's just like it pokes fun at us too. So like, and even the second act when Kim Jong Un is like acting American to like make James Franco like him. That's kind of a spoiler. I'm sorry if you haven't seen the interview, but I would assume that you would know, that Kim Jong Un would eventually be Kim Jong Un that we know. So anyway, like the comedy was good, and I really don't think it was that like horrible of a movie. Like really, like you're going after this Seth Rogen, James Franco comedy, like, and that's what we can't see. Like I just think that's the most ridiculous thing to get worked up over. So I can't believe it actually caused what it did, honestly. But maybe that's just me. Are you ready to move on?
Yeah. I just want to say that you had some good points.
Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate it. So let's now move on to the box office, where it was pretty interesting.
It was.
Yeah.
Last weekend was definitely bigger than expected. Well, last weekend was the weekend after Super Bowl, so the Super Bowl. So whereas during Super Bowl weekend everything tends to drop a lot, the weekend after that things tend to have good drops, to balance things out a tad. Anyway, fifth place was Project Almanac. That fell 37% to $5.3 million. Has a total of 15.7. On the plus side, its budget is only $12 million. So, add them worldwide and home video and all that, and it'll be all right. In fourth place, we had The Seventh Son, and that opened to $7.2 million. This had a budget of $95 million. So this is screwed. Best case scenario is it makes $30 million domestically, and I mean, it's just not good.
No.
Speaking of things that are not good, Jupiter Ascending opened to $18.4 million, and that had a budget of $176 million.
What do you mean, not good, Jeremy? No. Sorry. No, continue.
It's all right. So, Yeah, this is the kind of movie that might, kind of make some of its budget back overseas, but when you have a production budget of 176 million to turn a profit, I mean, you really got to make like 400 million at least. So, worldwide that is.
Its
So,
production budget is $176 million.
well, didn't it look pretty?
It did. It did. You're right. Oh my god. Oh, I can't.
Hey, man, Avatar cost like 300 million.
That's true, but it made like billions.
It did make like almost 3 billion.
Jupiter Ascending's gonna make a comeback. Don't worry. Hopefully with Jupiter Ascending too. Saturn Ascending. I don't know. I bet we can make Saturn Ascending for less money and it'll make more money. Guaranteed.
For no money.
For for no money.
A zero budget flick.
Exactly. Sorry.
Okay, well, in second place was American Sniper, and that fell just 24% to 23.3 million, raising its total to 281.4. So, with its big Super Bowl weekend drop, it kind of seemed like the momentum was, fading for American Sniper, but I guess it was just the fact that, literally everyone who would have seen American Sniper on Sunday night was watching the Super Bowl. Like, it's the exact same audience, so it just got hurt a lot. So I mean, it's at 280 million, and we have President's Day weekend this weekend, so maybe people be feeling patriotic, and it's also a 3-day weekend. So I don't think American Sniper is going to drop that much this weekend, and yeah, I'm back to thinking it's going to be the number one movie of the year.
Yeah.
It's going to be close either way. I mean, I would say best case is like 350 for American Sniper, but it'll be something to watch.
Yeah, and sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I'll save my points to the end. For some reason, I thought we were done, but that was number 2. No, go ahead.
Indeed it was. All right, our number one movie was the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, which opened to 55.4 million, and that is way more than I was expecting. It's a lot more than pretty much anyone was expecting. I thought more like 35. And the original SpongeBob movie, like 11 years ago, opened to I think it was 32, maybe 33, low 30s. So this is just an explosion. I mean, you have ticket price inflation and 3D and all that, but I mean, even still, I guess a lot of it is kids today who are into SpongeBob, and then you also have like teens and adults who grew up with it, and then parents buying the tickets and everything. So, I guess it was just a perfect storm, and there wasn't really anything to appeal to kids aside from Paddington down in 6th place, and that's
Right.
fading at this point. So, it cornered the marketplace, and now with this and the Lego Movie last year at this time, maybe the first week of February is going to be a big week for kids movies, and it's smart too because it's the weekend before President's Weekend, so they're guaranteed a good second weekend. So,
Right. Yeah. No, that's.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Yeah, it was interesting to see that made so much money. Yeah, but I think you pretty much covered as to why it did make money, so I won't speak on that. American Sniper, that I hate to be like, but that movie wasn't that good. Like I don't, people just keep going back in droves, and it's kind of annoying me at this point. It's a good movie. It is very good, but like
I feel like at this point it's kind of like a perpetual motion machine where like people go see it and then more people go see it because people are seeing it, kind
Right,
of thing.
yeah.
Like the hype just feeds into itself.
I feel like it's getting like those Gravity legs, and it's like reminding me of Gravity. Maybe that's like what's annoying me. But
It is a better movie than Gravity.
it is.
though.
Absolutely, it's like a 50 times better movie than Gravity. I'll put that on the record. Like I said, I don't want to bash American Sniper because I think it was a very good movie. It was a very well done movie. I don't have a problem with it being nominated for Best Picture, but it's not like that good that people should be like, oh, you should see it, and then you should see it. I just don't understand. But anyway, Jupiter Ascending, holy crap, that's so funny. I don't even know why. Maybe they'll go back to the Matrix, but like make them better than like your other sequel, or just stop making movies. I don't know. Wachowski brothers. I really don't know. Seventh Son is also
Siblings.
hilarious. Yes, yes.
What?
What?
One of the Wachowskis is transgender. He's a woman now.
Really?
They're the Wachowskis or the Wachowski siblings.
Oh
but yeah.
my gosh. Okay. Well, that's new. All right. Hopefully, we'll never have to talk about them again because I'll always get it wrong. Okay. Moving on to the movies coming out this weekend, and we've got two interesting ones. What do you want to start with?
Let's do Kingsman. I feel like 50 Shades is the bigger story.
All right. So Kingsman, starring Samuel L. Jackson. Who cares about anybody else? Samuel L. Jackson with a lisp.
You all talk so funny.
Exactly. Okay, this movie. Okay, Matthew Vaughn is a fantastic director. I'm gonna say X-Men First Class, Kick-Ass, and now Kingsman. Am I missing anything, Dina?
I don't know if he directed Kick-Ass 2.
Okay, I don't know if he was on
People
either.
hate that movie.
That's true. But like you liked it, and I hear
Yeah.
like other people who said they liked it. So I don't know. Like you've got a really good director behind it. It just looks like a fun movie. Colin Firth is good. I'm trying to think of who else is even in it, but it really looks like a lot of fun. It's getting good reviews. I'm actually up to the point where I'm actually excited to see this film.
Yeah, I agree. I think it took me a little bit of time to warm up to it, but yeah, it definitely looks very fun. I like the fact that it's R, actually. I think that makes it appeal more to people like our age and, like college age people. Because, if it's R, it'll probably have, plenty of cursing and it'll be more violent and bloody and everything. But, I mean, at first glance, it does kind of seem like it should be PG-13, but I'm glad it's R. And, Matthew Vaughn is a good director, so, yeah, I think it could be a decent second choice for date night kind of thing if you're not quite into 50 Shades, or if 50 Shades is sold out, go see Kingsman. And I think it's smart of the marketing to get plenty of shots of the main character shirtless in the commercials, because he's got a nice chest.
That is true. We got to talk about this phenomenon. 50 Shades of Grey. Pegged to be one of the greatest comedies of the year. I'm sorry, this trailer, every trailer that I've seen for it is absolutely hilarious. I die laughing. I can't imagine what this movie experience, is going to be like for people. I don't know anything about I know about the book. I know the plot, but I've never read the book, so I don't even know what to say about it. I think it's ridiculous, but it could be like this hilarious movie.
So 50 Shades of Grey is, the big draw of it is, it has lots of raunchy sex, and it has brought the world of BDSM into popular culture. BDSM standing for bondage, and, well, the two letters in the middle stand for two things. So it's bondage, dominance, and something else, and then, BDSM, and then sadism, and then masochism, and then some other things in there. But anyway, that's basically what it is. And it's about, tying people up using, toys and everything. So, that's the main draw, basically. But, to make the movie and to make it R, you kind of have to tone down those elements. So if you're toning that down, and that was the main, appeal of the book, it's is the movie as appealing? But anyway, I agree with you. It could be unintentionally funny in the same way that Twilight was. So I don't know if I'd want to see it in theaters with maybe all the girls will be there and they'll be all excited. I don't know, but who knows?
That's true. We're going to sign off by saying, oh no, just like the trailer does. See you guys next week.